Hello. Um, so earlier today I was sitting and studying, getting ready to head to Peru where I'm teaching a retreat, and I'm going through some of my old notebooks from when I was in India and just studying at university and studying with different teachers and different like spiritual leaders and gurus, to use that kind of dirty word. It's kind of a dirty word these days. Um, and as I was going through the notebooks, it's like one notebook in particular, this one, that this is from when I was in India. And well, first, like, look how pretty this is. Oh, like this little guy. Like, it's like a feather from India. I have bigger ones in here too. I have a bunch of them. I was like, every time I open up a page, oh, here's like a bunch of them. They're like black guys. Another one. Huge guys. Anyways, oh, this one's so pretty. Okay, so this video has been taken over by feathers. Anyways, so I was like going through my notebook, and like I remember so many things that I had written here when I was like, listening to Prem Baba or Shanti Ma or Muji or all these different teachers when I was in Rishikesh, or the like Indian sadhus sitting in caves when I was on Mount Arunachala, and just these different places and people that I had listened to and spoke to and learned from. I like wrote all the information down on my notebook, and it was just like, mind-blowing stuff at the time, and I was kind of like reviewing it and looking down at some of the stuff, because and I don't know, so much of it has like become part of me, and so many things that I've like really learned how to like embody in myself and in my life. And I just thought about how amazing that was for me to be able to look back at, that moment of like revelation that was so extraordinary, and how it's just kind of like an everyday way of how I understand myself and understand my life now, and really where I teach from. And on the one hand, it was like a call to really like hone in on that a bit more and really teach from the place of like aliveness, teach from the place of like the aliveness of the teachings moving through me, as opposed to me regurgitating information that I've read or things that inspired me momentarily. So instead of like reading a book that I was just like, oh, that sounds really pretty, I'm going to teach from that place, but like really taking in these teachings and absorbing them within my being, like metabolizing them, applying them into my life and into my own practice, and then teaching from there. And so it was like a big reminder for me earlier today to like, that I have been doing that, which is amazing, and that I need to like prioritize that and make that a part of like my mandate, my mandate as a teacher. And the reason why I was going through these notebooks is, in a couple of weeks I'm going to be heading to Peru to host my retreat, my first time in South America. So excited. And it, like, to me, it's really important, like when I teach, that the practice is alive in me, and so sometimes, like I teach a lot. Like I work a lot. I'm like between working at the clinic and my classes and whatever. And sometimes it's hard to like get a full asana practice in. Sometimes it's hard to get like a full meditation in. Sometimes it's hard to get a lot of this stuff in. But sometimes just like touching base, sometimes just unrolling a mat and breathing on your body for like even 5 or 10 minutes. Instead of having a full 45-minute meditation, maybe it's just like a 10-minute sit. Maybe it's not trying to remember or study something intensely. Maybe it's just like flipping through old notebooks, but keeping the practice alive in me, so that when I teach again, it's like not that regurgitation. And I think that we are all as teachers in danger of doing that, of like, we do a 200 teacher training, we like learn a bunch of fancy philosophy, and we're like, hooray, now I'm a expert. And it's like, no, we can do a bunch of fancy stuff with our body and then, be like, I am the expert. It's like, no, like we have to live it. And we have to really live the yoga. We have to really live these teachings. And then from that place, from that lived place where the teachings are alive in you, yoga is alive in you, then you can transmit something that's actually transformative, that we can, like, not just make people feel good, which is nice. The world is a harsh place sometimes, and any sort of moment of solace or sanctuary is such a blessing. But you know, what if we can use the practice in these teachings to like really transform people and transform ourselves? So I'm making this video part as like a holding myself accountable and creating this mandate of living the teachings and having the teachings live through me. Oh, I like that. Living the teachings and letting the oh no, I lost it. I'll have to rewatch the video, and I had something there. So yeah, part of it was to like hold myself accountable, and part of it was just to like maybe start a conversation. Like, how do you keep teachers out there? How do you keep yoga alive for you? How do you, you know, not just regurgitate, but rather like metabolize and live the practice? Yeah, I would love to hear from you. Okay, bye.